and welcome to another episode of Stats on Stats. It is the first episode of the fucking year, and we're kicking it off with a banger with our brand new show, Road to Royal. But before we introduce our lovely VIP guest, let me introduce my co-host. You guys know him, you love him. He's,
What
he's
a pain in
here.
the ass. That
God,
guy.
he's such a
That guy really
dickhead.
sucks.
Joel, fucking Harvey. Joel,
Dude,
how are we doing today?
I am fantastic. I am so glad to be back.
We are
And
fucking back.
we are back, baby.
It is level 4 of Stats on Stats, our 4th season, Joel. We've been doing this for 4 years now. What the fuck is wrong with us?
A lot.
Fucking
Well, and
RPG is just a hole
since
that just
our,
swallows your life. It's
since our lovely guest has already started speaking, let me go ahead and introduce him. Quack, quack, quackity, quack, quack. TJ Lombardi, quack, quack. TJ, how the fuck are we doing
What's up,
today?
dude? I'm doing amazing. Thanks for having me on here, man. This is a huge honor. I'm not gonna lie.
We're happy to have you on. We are so excited for you to join us. And for those of you who don't speak duck, my introduction was joining us today was hit author I can't fucking speak now. Hit author TJ Lombardi, who has written series such as The Dying Breed and also Call Sign Bloodbath on Royal Road, which kind of segues into our show, which is the new stuff. And we already got people in the chat. Facebook user, hi. I don't know who you are, but hi. And then, of course, we got Kyle Wilkinson.
Comments.
The ever amazing Kyle Wilkinson.
We love Kyle. But our new show is Road to Royal. Now, I bet you're wondering, what is Road to Royal? Well, I mean, it's kind of in the name. We're talking with authors who write on Royal Road, their experience with writing on it, how it kind of helps with their writing experience, and all sorts of stuff. So, first, let's talk Call Sign Bloodbath, because, I mean, that's what's up on Royal Road, and it's a damn good book. If you haven't read it, head on over to Royal Road and read it. I know we're getting a published date soon, hopefully.
Yes.
But TJ, why don't you tell us a little bit about Call Sign Bloodbath?
Yeah, guys. So Call Sign Bloodbath, I was writing book 4 of the Dying Breed series. And so for those of you who love the fantasy world, if you like Berserk, Dungeons and Dragons, The Witcher, like that's really what the Dying Breed is about. And so I was about 60 to 70,000 words into book 4 of the Dying Breed. Book 3 is coming out February 14th on Valentine's Day. And I got this challenge from a good friend of mine, Brian J. Norton, who said, I want a lit RPG book, and, you know, you need to start getting this on. I was like, all right, so what do I know? I know military life because I did 16 years in the Air Force. I love shooters. As far as video games, I played Call of Duty more than anything else. I love John Wick. I love Marvel Punisher. I love this gritty atmosphere.
Quack, quack, Steven.
And I wanted this setting also like Sin City, right? So graphic noir, very violent. And the thing that I didn't like about John Wick when I watched the series was, one, the setting seemed almost unrealistic as far as how the criminal understructure was developed. And two, there didn't seem to be a very realistic approach of like how he just raises his coat jacket and rounds just immediately stop. And it's like, dude, these rounds would still have a trajectory and all this other stuff. So it's like, can I do a better first-person shooter and just go balls to the wall with the action and intensity? So I wrote Call Sign Bloodbath the way I just felt it should be written.
It's all good, Paul.
With the most realistic concept of lit RPG applied into a real world setting. And I just started word vomiting. And book 1 was written in about 6 weeks. Okay. From there, I immediately started in on book 2, Enmity, which I wanted to write about something near and dear to my heart, something that is it is growing exponentially around the world, and we are doing almost nothing to stop it. So I was like, you know what? I want someone to go around, and I want someone to brutally give justice to these criminals around the world. And so I wrote book 1 and 2. I had submitted it to an indie publisher, And their first recommendation was, we love it, but we recommend you do some changes and resubmit. So we're going to reject it as is, but make these changes, resubmit. So I was like, okay. Well, from there, I made the changes and I just said, hey, do you mind if I put it on Royal Road? And they're like, no, go for it. Let's see the type of reaction you get. So that's when I made the changes to both book 1, but that, of course, made me have to make changes to book 2. The main character's name changed. Some of the other elements changed. So I had to do all of this. But we put book 1 up on Royal Road, did a little bit of marketing. And it was a twofold reason, in my opinion. One, I'm really new into the lit RPG scene. When you look at all the authors that started out in lit RPG, they've been building the subgenre for so many years, but Royal Road was this huge platform that really helped a ton of authors out. And so for me, I was like, you know what? I want to try to pay homage to them. And I want to try to help develop this. So I put it on Royal Road to pay homage in that regard, but also to get some market insight, right? How do the readers react to it and everything else? In the process of that, I realized books 1 and 2 were not written like a web serial novel. They were not written in a way that you would be used to Royal Road, meaning there's chapters that are like 10,000 words. And at the time, when you look at it, in my writing career, book 3 of The Dying Breed had the longest chapter. And then I pushed myself to write a chapter of 100 pages in book 4 of The Dying Breed. I thought that was super cool. I was like, yeah, the longest chapters, those are awesome. Harmon. But I started to quickly realize once I put it on Royal Road how taxing that is for readers to devote that much time to a single chapter. So it really caused me, after I had book 1 and 2 written, as I approach book 3, it's very much more the 2,500 words. There are some that are 5,000, 6,000 with those action sequences.
Yeah.
But it really changed the dynamic of how I approach writing.
Okay. Cool. Well, so when you started releasing Call Sign Bloodbath on Royal Road, you were releasing a chapter a day, right? And that went on for 2.5 weeks because it's 18 chapters.
It went on for about 3.5 weeks because it's 24 chapters.
I thought it is 24 chapters. You're right. Okay. What am I thinking is 18 chapters? Oh, I'm thinking of Alpha Cosmos because I've been
23 chapters.
Because I know you were uploading stuff while we were at Dragon Con, because you asked me when we met up at
Zeckler,
the
I love you.
It's fucking Zeckler. What is up, our favorite admin? We love you, buddy. When we met up at the West End and everything, we were just talking and chatting. You were like, hey, how far are you in Bloodbath? And I was like, fuck, I'm like on chapter 8 or 9. I can't remember. Because that was months ago, but I was trying to read it as it like went out, or as you were putting stuff out. And I think at that point you already had like 14 or 15 chapters out. So when I got back to the hotel, I read a chapter before I would go to bed, and I actually fell asleep with my phone in my hand, reading a chapter. I was like, fuck, I forgot where I left off. So I had to go back and I just reread that chapter the next morning before I went and grabbed breakfast with some of the authors. But damn. It's good. Steven, you're our favorite author admin. Zeckler just gets that one admin title because he's
Zeckler's our hype man.
In all reality, I don't know why we're arguing, because the 5 of us and if 1 or 2 others are all in the Duck Squad.
Yeah,
so that's literally why I wore this hat, because of Duck Squad.
Hey, I got Donald the mage from Kingdom Hearts right here. He sits in my booth, and I have some stuff in here that keeps me inspired when I'm in here getting work done, because if I don't get work done, then
So what's really interesting too, so I had to go back. I will clarify. Let's clarify for the record, live on the stream. Richie did not actually say it was the most brutal book in Lit RPG. I went back through all the messages and he just said, it's so brutal. He didn't say it was the most brutal.
It's fucking brutal.
I got extremely excited. I may have added that into his context, put words into his mouth. But guess what? Now that I put words into his mouth, they're staying there. It's the most brutal fucking thing.
No, it's a fucking brutal book. It is. And it is not for the
faint of heart.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, is it the faint of heart or faint of heart? It's not for the faint of heart. I will say, you know, there are warnings in that, and also I want to say in the Dying Breed, there's warnings as well.
Zeckler say no. I heard him say that shit.
Zeckler, shut the fuck up. You're gonna lose admin privileges.
So that is one thing I will say is both of my series right now, the Dying Breed and Bloodbath. Like I put the mature rating on the very front cover. The Dying Breed has it on the back cover because there's so much to those books to put on the front. But I mean, I do my best to put content guidance at the beginning of the books, the ratings at the back of the books. So I'm like, yo, they are not written for teen audience. Now, granted, my third series will be written for teen young adults.
So we'll touch base on the third series, like, you know, in light detail, because we don't want to give away anything too much, you know, before the end of the episode. We'll chat a little bit on it. So, Joel, do you have any questions you want to ask TJ real quick?
Can Joel's I get a grow a pair t-shirt?
Dude, yes. Yeah, so that actually was it's from a military patch, and the company doesn't even make them anymore. And I had bought that patch and I gave it to a good friend of mine. And so this is why
just a second.
This is the one bad reason I do not like Royal Road, because I cannot figure out how to put images in the postings. But for those of you who will get the full book, I can show you here once I find it, because the patch is actually in the book.
Yeah, I will say that was probably one of my favorite characters.
Oh, Master Jack?
Yeah.
Janitor's mine.
Oh my gosh.
I fucking love the janitor.
It's DJ.
415, baby. So the funny thing is, okay, so for those of you who have not read Bloodbath yet, that janitor was originally going to be Jez's character. And I felt bad because I was like, wait a minute. Like, I know he said I could use him as a character, but I don't really want to burn this bridge with him if he gets pissed off. So that's where I was like, wait a minute. If I make the janitor myself, I can beat the shit out of myself all day long.
There you go.
I can't offend anyone.
Which who was Jez based, or Jez's character in?
Oh, here it is.
He is the other. Oh, that's
so that is cool. Your grow a pair that'll be on the shirt.
I fucking love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Craig. Hi, Craig. It's good to have you in here, buddy. Just have Jess's character eating ketchup flavored chips. Hey, okay, so I'm gonna go on record real quick. I used to dip my potato chips in ketchup when I was younger, and I still fucking do it. So you can dick on that all you want. It's fucking delicious. First 10 minutes of season 4, and I've already had my admin privileges threatened. It's going to be a good year. Yeah, because I logged into Twitter and I had 100 notifications because I took a month off from checking it, and I come back and I see Zeckler's fucking wish list. So thank you, Zeckler.
You know what, Joel, now that I think about it, so I do, like, we have the Dying Breed shirts, right? Richie's wearing one of them. This is one of the original ones that my mom made, but I do plan on making Bloodbath shirts. And now that you say that, we definitely will make a grow a pair shirt.
Fuck
yeah.
Yes.
Hell,
you know what?
Yeah.
You know what, TJ? Because you said you might not be able to go to Dragon Con this year. If you get them out before Dragon Con, Joel and I will wear them on the same day at Dragon Con just to be your marketing board.
Hell yeah.
Hell, dude, I'd wear it like every goddamn day. That shit's funny.
I fucking love it. So, what were some of the hardships you had when riding on Royal Road? I know you and I we talked a little bit about some stuff yesterday. Not sure what all you want to touch base on there, but I guess when you go to write this new series, because you said you have a third series,
yep,
are you going to continue putting it on Royal Road, or are you going to go a different route? I guess would that go into the hardships?
I guess let me follow up with the hardships of writing Bloodbath first.
Okay.
So I hated writing Bloodbath, the very initial stages of it, because I, as a person, try not to think of crude and inappropriate thoughts and behaviors. Like I want to be more mature than that. And yet you can tell Bloodbath is nothing but that. And so I mentally struggled. There's 11,000 words that were cut out of the finished manuscript where he talks about very inappropriate things. And so just to think about that, but like I literally was sitting at my keyboard struggling and I'm like, you know what? What is the most inappropriate thing I can think about right now? And so like I was like, yeah, so that was really hard. And I hated the main character. I hated writing him.
Okay.
Until you meet Sasha.
All right.
And Sasha was not planned at all. When she came into the story, I was like, yep, he's going to go on this mission. He's going to go here, boom, boom, boom. And so I pictured this amazing woman who I love her so much. And once I put myself mentally into that scene, I fell in love with Sasha, really. You know, I'm writing as Trevor, as Bloodbath. So yeah. Trevor is falling in love with Sasha all over again, just smitten at first sight. And then I was like, this is where I want to go now with this character. This is the redemption arc.
Character development.
Achieved. So, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I do like the character development. I do. I'll touch base on that in a little bit.
I'm going to play devil's advocate and say that the crude parts were the like absolutely funniest shit ever, and I love it.
It gave me some Deadpool vibes.
Yeah. Well, that was so for book one, it was like Marvel Punisher John Wick with Deadpool humor. Right? Yeah. And so that's where Stephen Landry, he was like, dude, I fell out of my chair laughing so hard at some of the shit you put in there.
It's fucking good. It's fucking good. I don't.
God, the children weren't around to see that. None of those kids will be able to see a dinosaur the same way again.
Because at Dragon Con, I shared a room with Steven and Tori. Mm-hmm. You know, we all roomed together just because it's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I woke them up with my laughter one night just because I was I can't remember which part. I think I was in chapter 10, I want to say. And I broke out laughing and I was trying to contain it.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember which part I was at.
Yeah.
We're all children in our own way. That is true.
What?
Oh, I'm wondering, was it the airplane when he's getting in the fight with the lady on the airplane?
I think so. I think it was.
Speaking of that scene, I loved the 10 Realms reference so there's a girl reading a book while he's getting his ass kicked by this girl. And she does she help him out or something? Or
so
she gives him
bag gets taken,
yeah,
and gets used against him, and that's where it was my little slide in for Michael Chatfield.
Yeah,
I love.
It's I hope this was more interesting than those books. And she's like, no, it's not as interesting as 10 Realms.
I will
like,
say
damn.
that's one thing I love in the lit RPG genre is just the little Easter eggs and homages to other authors and works in the genre, because it's giving a little praise, and giving credit where credit's due for certain series and authors or characters, and I love it. So that's one thing I wanted to give a shout out to real quick, is the love this genre brings to one another, because it's fantastic.
Yeah,
We're all here because we love lit RPG.
Almost every character in the Bloodbath book is based off of a real person. Sweep, who's at the very beginning of the book, he's one of my closest friends. He and I went through a lot of hell together in the military. So dude is just a badass operator. So he's in there. Jez is in chapter 1. Brian is Brian Norden, obviously. I want to say it's all.
I did not connect that. Until you just
right. And that was what was
up,
so
Paul?
much fun was the banter between the two, because that's kind of the banter Brian and I have with one another, right?
I don't know, Professor Lombardi. Like, you're gonna have to, step up your game, at least in his book.
Yeah, book 2, I'm only mentioned, so like I haven't gotten to any parts where I'm like, oh, okay, I have no part. Anyway, Tara was my old boss. So when you guys are, again, you can't see it in Royal Road, but there's literally the overlays, like right here.
Right that's there. Fucking cool.
That is literally like the type of technology we were using every day to hunt
that's
down,
fucking awesome.
Like drug cartels, drug trafficking organizations. So like she was my supervisor doing counter drug operations. So that's where I was like, I want to add her in. Todd and Nate, which get mentioned a little later, they were also my coworkers. So almost every single person, I think y'all's romantic. It's called a bromance, Paul. It's a bromance.
Yeah, Paul, give it the fucking picture.
Every single person is almost based off of someone in real life. And so that's where I was like, I just got to have fun because I got to feel like I was almost hanging out with my friends again, but we were just pretty much bashing each other in lovingly ways. Hell yeah, we are, Paul. So that was the hard part of writing Bloodbath, was getting into the character's mindset,
right,
and moving along. But then so that was that hardship. When I went to Royal Road, it was the hardship of realizing how hard of a application it was to put readers into those larger chapters. The part that I do love about Royal Road was I instantly got feedback from readers, and I did everything I could to make sure I responded to every single person. There were some people that I really loved who said, from a tactic standpoint, well, this doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't he do X, Y, Z?
Right.
And so I got to give context of like, not only from my military time, but I did 1.5 years with search and rescue. So I was like, well, yeah, you can feel the wrist for a pulse. However, depending on the person's wrist, you may not get that pulse right away. So you can do X here. So we got to have dialogue, which I really loved. And that was one of the biggest things that I loved about Royal Road, was getting to have feedback with people and getting that validation. Richie, you read the first initial version where there was a dog in a flashback.
Yes.
Joel, did you have a dog in a flashback?
I think. Well, no, I think they just talk about like what he did to the dog, but they don't actually like.
In the forest. It was a forest scene.
Oh, no.
At the very beginning.
So.
Okay.
The scene at the very beginning, I want to say it's like his AI or someone is like, oh, B2's injured. We have to get him to evac.
Okay, no. So you may have read it after I cut out a full scene. Well, I modified it. Because one of the other things was I have worked... Bro, Brian's voice is what makes...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. So being in the military, I worked very closely with K9 units.
Okay.
One, because when you're away from home and you miss dogs, there's dogs there, even though these things are literally fur missiles. Well, also, all the canine units get air conditioning. No matter where you are, they have to be in an air-conditioned building. They have to have air-conditioned vehicles. So if you get in good with the canine handlers, you get to hang out in air conditioning and mess with the dogs.
Instead of in the fucking heat.
Yeah. So that's where I have very close friends who are canine handlers, but these dogs are trained to kill. There was one dog in Qatar in the Air Force, but it started out with the French Special Forces. That dog has records that are blacked out that the handler himself cannot read. So there are things that dog has done that people are not allowed to know about.
What the fuck?
That dog was trained to take a person down to the ground and then go up and rip their throat out.
What the fuck?
So that is where, in the first version of the book, I had a dog attack Trevor. He takes it to the ground and he kills the dog.
That's the scene I read.
You literally on Royal Road see 50% of people drop off immediately. And so that's where I was like, okay. So I also had a very similar scene in book 2, which I just edited. And so that was where I had to step back. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is completely realistic. When that dog is unleashed on you, depending on the level of training of that dog, it is going to kill you or do everything it can to take you down. Right.
Right.
But the readers just 50% cutoff were not ready for that. Yeah. Love you, dude. They were just not ready for that level of intensity. And so that's where I actually changed it, because I had to ask myself as an author, is this moment really worth losing that many people? And so I was like, all right, you know what? We'll take it out. I'll modify book 2 and we'll go on with that. So, yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so now.
So the scene I was thinking of was whenever they're like going back of like all the crazy shit he's done. And they're like, oh, there's that one time you killed a dog. And he's like, what? And they're like,
that was my girlfriend's.
It was a yeah.
Or something.
The temple, the Aztec temple in Mexico.
Yeah, that's it.
I think I did modify that too, because originally I think I had him kill the dog as a blood sacrifice to the gods, because he wanted to fight the gods because he was high on peyote.
Yeah.
But I changed it to where he just tried to kill the dog, and then of course he tried to justify it like, but it's a fucking Shih Tzu. And of course Brian's losing his shit like, it doesn't matter.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah.
All right. So hardships.
Yeah. So the hardships were real. It was really good because you get to see the back data of how many people are reading your book, how many people are returning, how many people are XYZ. And so that's where I was like, you know what? There's just this hard line that I need to fix. Okay. And that really helps, obviously, for when you want to go and put it on Amazon or try to move forward. So that was one hardship. The other thing, too, was because book 1 and 2 were already written, I already had them filed for copyright. So I mean, I literally have the certificate saying this is mine.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we're now seeing is people like Harmon Cooper and Jez and a few others who their work is getting stolen, just straight up taken and then put on Amazon under a different name, whatever. And for me, I was like, you know what? Like, where's this threshold and what is Royal Road going to do to stop this? Which one, so far they have not, from all the other authors I've seen talking about it, Royal Road is not doing anything to stop that because they don't want to damage the reader experience. Well, number 2, the other big thing was Royal Road threatened to not let me post book 2.
Wait, what?
Is that why we don't have book 2 yet?
No, book
2's up.
It's under a different.
Yeah,
it's under a different like panhandle. I can send you the link when you're talking.
Okay.
The reason why book 2 is actually its own separate book is when you look at Royal Road's things, they do have their own trigger warnings, like that you have to click on, because the level of violence and trauma like doubled in book 2. I was like, I want to make sure I am as following their rules as possible. So I made that. I made a second book, put those extra trigger warnings in there, put the content guidance at the very beginning.
Right.
But they literally, I have the screenshots where they said, you have to take the prologue out or we will not let you post the book. And the prologue, all of this is literally the statistics for human trafficking worldwide.
Jeez.
Fuck.
So it is here to tell you, here are the certain regions and countries that have been identified as having significant issues with child sex trafficking, and the source links to all the documents if you want to look up the reports yourself. Mm-hmm. The nations that are the most prevalent for consuming child pornography, and then all of the different agencies and their contact information if you feel like you found someone who's a victim of human trafficking or you yourself are a victim of human trafficking. And they said, either take that down or you can't post your book.
So there's some terms of service when it comes to actually, writing and putting up on Royal Road.
So there's, it's one of those things of like, when you think, like when you write a story about human trafficking and sex trafficking and all the disgusting things that are going on, and you're like, you know what? Why in the world are we not having true justice? So you know what? I'm going to have a character that goes through and brutally dishes out justice in the most, vicious ways possible. And there are people who are like, well, we want people to escape from reality. And we don't think this is going to be a good escape from reality. I was like, well, and I literally said, I was like, don't you think they're adults enough to make their own decision on that with what they want to read? So, but again, like, do you really want to rock waves? Do you want to be right? Or do you want to try to reach people with a good story?
Right.
So
why not both?
So that's where I was like, okay, well, that's where, we'll just wait to publish the full version with that at the very beginning. And it is what it is. So the hardships I had was when you see content being taken, stolen from Royal Road, that was where I decided my third series will not be on Royal Road. So the Bloodbath series is there to pay homage to the Royal Road readers, to thank them and let them see this story and enjoy it. And I've even gone in and told them, here's the cutoff dates for when this series will be taken down to go to Amazon. And so the third series, I believe, is going to be a very popular series with people that it could have a threat of being stolen. But the second thing with book 3 or the third series is it's kind of my thank you to the lit RPG genre, where I have tried my best to have as many people within this community as main characters, kind of like Brian did with Quest Academy. What I'm calling Project General Motors, KT Hana, Stephen Landry, so many people already have characters in the book that it's just like, hey, this is my thank you to the community. And this is why this community is so awesome, is like the third series is definitely a world I wish we could live in.
And Joel, I know you're getting ready to ask, and it got confirmed yesterday that you and I are both in it.
Fuck yeah. Let's go.
I get to stab you in the face. I'm kidding. I don't know. But no, we are in the book, and I'm excited about that because TJ told me what our roles were, and I was like, oh, this goes well with an idea we've had. So I pitched a little idea.
I'm very curious. We might have to talk about this after the show.
Oh, we definitely will.
So yeah, that's that.
All right. I mean,
so
go ahead, buddy.
I was going to circle around to something I said before the show, is that this series brings out my type A personality where I just want to tell people to go fuck themselves and like grow up and be an adult. And I feel like people also do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. So like, in a way, when you're reading the series, you're kind of just getting the personality of like, this is real life, people. Like, why hide that?
Yeah.
How are you even a human being if you can go throughout a week and not want to just tell someone like, grow the fuck up or stop being a little bitch, you know? Like,
that's me on a daily basis.
We all have those feelings and intentions, and we wish we could say it, but we don't, right? And so that's where Trevor's here to be like, fuck everyone, y'all a bunch of little bitches. And then it's like, well, Trevor, you're also a little bitch. Shut up.
Well, so I had a conversation with my boss the other day because he's like, hey, if I call you, you need to answer. And I said, hey, if I'm busy, I'm not going to fucking answer. He goes, well, you have to understand that we're the most important thing in your life. I said, the fuck you are.
So I was working right before I wrote Bloodbath, which is funny because the chapter that I cut out was actually I wrote that Trevor worked at a Crunchy warehouse, which was a homage to Chewy when I was working there. Because I was fulfilling orders, right? And so one of the managers who's like, 10 years younger than me walks up and he's like, hey, TJ, so like this, and we need you to change this. And I literally looked at this person like, I don't give a shit. And their face like got almost pale. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, and I was like, you don't pay me enough to care. If you paid me more money, then I might care about the quality, but I don't. We had people like taking dog foods and like slamming them into boxes as if they're dunking on a basketball court. And I was like, clearly no one cares around here, so why should I care? So yeah, so that's where, no, you don't pay me enough to care.
I just fucking play with chips for a living every day, so that's, yeah.
Dude, I used to stock shelves too. I totally get it. I literally work for a chip company.
I work for a chip company.
And I know. So that's where when you just
I drive it,
push in with your box cutter and oops, I sliced the bag open accidentally.
No,
damage. Good.
We don't have any tape on our boxes or anything. It's like we have to send our cardboard back, which fucking pisses me off because the cardboard, like it's so flimsy and it gets ripped and they're like, hey, we need everyone sending their stuff back. It's like, nah, fuck that. The cardboard police showed up at our bin the other day and we all got in trouble. And it's like, fuck.
Did you tell me to stop being a little bitch? Because that's what Trevor would do.
I just looked at him and said, I don't get paid enough to deal with this. And I put my headphones in and I walked away.
Now I need a What Would Trevor Do t-shirt.
We do need a What Would Trevor. Can we get a wristband? Like the What Would Jesus Do wristbands that were popular back in like what?
You know what? I feel like I would be put into a lawsuit. If I did that, it would just be like, well, TJ wrote this book and this is why I act this way now. Like, God damn it.
That's going to be my new doctor's note is TJ Lombardi said, fucking do it.
No, they can't do that. I mean, God forbid you tell them to act like adults. Like,
so I actually have a question for Joel because Joel is the stats guy. Joel's the mechanics guy. Joel is the guy that loves the systems. So Joel,
stats too.
How did you think about the system?
Okay, so one thing that I did really, really enjoy is that from the very beginning in the prologue, at least the one that I read, it was kind of a mystery as to like what was going on. And when he's getting to like this level 10 where he gets to like customize his class or whatever, Brian's talking to him and he's like, well, I wasn't sure what you picked last time, and it was either like Lone Survivor and you somehow like got into the system and like fucked shit up, or it was like an AI that like took control of your like actions or something. And I was like, what? That I thought he was like with someone else at the beginning, like they were helping him out, but it was kind of a mystery of like, wait, which class did he choose? So, but yeah, I liked that. The armor reminds me a lot of Apex. Of
which
like,
Joel and I fucking frequent all the time,
yeah.
and it brings out the worst in both of us.
Same with the like display of like ammo count in magazines and stuff. I just picture like the Apex like HUD.
Nice.
All right. So,
But
Joel,
yeah.
would you compare the system to like how would you compare the system to other books that we've read?
I
Do you think it
mean,
was a unique system, or do you think it was too complex?
um,
I'm throwing out new questions. It's a new season.
yeah, like
I'm making you fucking
honestly,
think.
I feel like it could have been more complex. Like I didn't see. I wish there were like abilities or something. Like there's some abilities where it's like he can dull his pain, and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm used to like fantasy worlds where they're just like throw a
Fireball.
thunderbolt. Yeah, like
Yeah.
fireball.
Hey, see,
It's
and
literally tapping into the human body's abilities, and Joel's like, but I want him to fuck a dragon with a fireball.
well,
Right?
here, hold on. Hey, TJ, here you go. You want to give him a fireball? Give someone, fire
At least
shotgun rounds or something. There's
They're
your
there.
fireball. Oh yeah, there's your
doesn't he
fireball.
have like a bullet time mode or something like that?
A what?
Bullet time where it
Like
like
slow
slows
mo.
down his perception.
Oh, so that's not actually like a that is literally what your human body will do naturally. And
It's an
so that's
adrenaline
where
rush, isn't it?
I
yeah,
feel
it's
like
all a part of adrenaline. And so
it
that's
kind
where
of sorry. I feel like it kind of limited the system in a way where you
Random
need to
shoulder
do
mounted
things
guns.
that
Fuck
is
yeah, Paul.
only doable through like human chemicals. Does that make sense?
that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
think it's once you've experienced that level of adrenaline, because when I first had that, I actually froze. We were going to apprehend a bad guy when I worked for security at a retail store, and my boss started to get into a literal fist fight with the suspect, and I froze. I was on the phone with 911 calling for police. I froze because I just had this adrenaline dump and I didn't know what to do. Well, because I had experienced that when I got into the military, and when you're getting into your first, types of training engagements with ammunition rounds, or you get flashbang, once you feel that adrenaline, you're like, oh, okay, I know what this is.
Yeah.
And now I know how to work through it. So I tried my best to convey that to where it's like, why is it slowing down? It's because your vision can literally see projectiles flying past you. And it may seem like the Matrix, but it's literally just how incredible your human body is. But most people never tap into it.
very cool. I am very interested to see what happens with his uh, like demon that's like haunting his nightmares. The like
That gets touched on in book 2, doesn't it? Like pretty early on.
So that little character comes even more to life in book 2, and it's a homage to the character in book 3 of the Dying Breed called Drebin, who's given the name Drebin the Dreadful.
I've not gotten that far yet. So
well, it's in book 3, so book 3 hasn't come out yet.
I didn't think
Right.
it was out yet, but I'm still like I'm almost to the end of book 2.
Drebin is by far one of the best characters I've ever written. He has one of the most powerful developments, I feel like, and he was such a favorite character for me that I was like, I wanted to pay homage to him, so I put him in Bloodbath series. What's interesting is how he is huge into book 2, and it's like you really don't know what the fuck is going on with this thing, and then in book 3 it all just comes together really beautifully, and you're like, holy shit, okay. So
all right. Well, we've talked, Royal Road and, some of the hardships. let's talk about the positives real quick before we segue over to talking about the Dying Breed just a smidge, because I obviously want to, touch base on that just a little bit because it's pretty good. No one asked, Joel.
Okay.
Love you. So, what were some of the positives about writing on Royal Road that
the positives? Yeah, absolutely. That one, what Paul just said, Takasfakashina. The great thing about writing on Royal Road, and I'm not trying to discourage people from writing on Royal Road,
right?
Especially if you're starting out. And also if you're just writing for fun and you're not trying to, make this as like a business per se or do it, whatever. If it's just a hobby, you get to really practice a lot of your skills and you get to really learn, I now write almost consistently 2,500 words per chapter, and then I move on. Unless it's like a main battle scene, fight scene, I'll extend it out.
Okay.
So you get to practice of like, how do I get those hit points of going from chapter to chapter? How do I get the emotional dynamic and all of these different things of flow and pacing, conflict? So it's a great platform to really learn, especially if you have people giving you that feedback. And every bit of feedback you get, take it for a grain of salt. If it's negative, love it and savor it when it's positive. Because writing is such a personal thing that not only are you your harshest critic, but once you have the courage to put it out there, and if you get negative feedback or no feedback, you slowly get beaten down. I've been really blessed that out of the 113 comments that I've gotten across both books, a lot of them have been very positive or very much like, hey, you missed a spelling error. Here you go. Here's my recommendation. Most recently on Enmity, which is book 2, I've been so blessed with this person, Bowman of Steppies. And he just said, I honestly enjoy this novel. It's got such a realism to it, not like some fantasy or normal system I see on this platform. Nicely written, man. Good job. And that was written 2 days ago. It was exactly what I needed that day to re-motivate me. And so he followed up earlier today and just said, I don't understand why this book doesn't get attention. I honestly think this book has some of the best real thinking to it. The MC is not some superhuman. He's got his own flaws, his feelings like anger, sadness, humor. Can't do the job by himself. He has to rely on others. That is reality. I do believe from the bottom of my heart that someday these books will get the attention they deserve. Never stop writing, man. I anticipate your new chapter every week. Know that your stories give me joy. Life gets hard, but stories like yours gives me and others a safe place to be. I sincerely wish you the best.
Hell yeah.
Fucking shout out to them, because that is awesome.
Do you ever get feedback like that? Like, I screenshot that shit. I save it because on the hard days, I go back and I reread that. And I'm like, you know what? If there's only one person in this world that ever reads the book and enjoys it, all of those hours were worth it.
Exactly.
So that's where I encourage people, if you're okay with starting out, if you're looking to grow your skills, this is a platform you can utilize to test out ideas, get these other things. It's just, if you get to a certain level and you feel like you have a story that could really take off, you just have to weigh out the risk that someone else may take it before you or take it from you and try to steal it. But if you write the story and you want to then release it on Royal Road, just make sure you file it for copyright first.
Right. Well, so I know, at least with Harmon's stuff, I haven't seen with any of the other authors, because I'm in one of Harmon's like private groups on Facebook. Anytime that like this person has stolen the battle or the Shadow Deck Academy, the Reborn Assassin, his newest one, he's posted it, and like we swarm that page to get it taken down, and it gets taken down, I think, within 24 hours, because like we review bomb it, everything. Like, and we put in the review, this is stolen content. Original content goes to Harmon Cooper. This is what the actual book's called. It's on Royal Road right now. Go read it if you want to read it. It's still free. Don't support this asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such a shitty thing that people do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I know piracy is like, it's, you know, back on the rise again when it comes to, you know, audiobooks or whatever. Because I mean,
there's a ton of people stealing audiobooks and putting them on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Didn't you learn in high school, like, you can't pirate things? Like,
plagiarize and all that fun jazz. Like, it just fucking don't do it. Don't be a shitty person. Like, don't be a bitch. But going back to the comment you just got, I mean, that's one of the reasons we started doing the podcast is we wanted to share our favorite books with people. So if like someone hadn't heard of, you know, The Land or Completionist Chronicles or anything, you know, they would hopefully come across it and get the enjoyment out of it that Joel and I did. Because these books for me are an escape. I suffer from anxiety and depression. I've talked about it before on the episode. I love this genre and I love the community that's been built around it.
Absolutely.
And these books are just fucking fantastic. And the fact that we get now grimdark, because I have a fucked up sense of humor, I make some of the most fucked up jokes on a daily basis. I'm allergic to oranges. What mild inconvenience? Well, gonna drink a glass of orange juice. Fuck this shit. That's me on a daily basis.
That's like, you know what? I hate my coworkers and I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm gonna have some cheese for lunch.
There you go.
Fuck all
there
of
you go. There you go.
Yeah. So no, man, I love Royal Road, and I encourage people to. There's some people who are like they don't want to read on Royal Road. You know, there's a lot of stuff from grammar and spelling errors. But you know what? There's some incredible authors on Royal Road who are just looking to get exposure. And I mean, Nick Boslow. I've been
reading more on Royal Road now that the app is out because I hated using a web browser on my phone or my iPad just to, you know, read these. And then they were like, "Hey, we have an app now." And it's like, fuck.
Yep.
Buy Kindle Unlimited, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Yep.
No, I still have my Kindle Unlimited, but I've been using Royal Road. I've been reading Katie Hanna's newest book. James Hunter has one of his series up on Royal Road, and I'm having a blast on it. And I love that it's more user friendly than having to go to a website and then I'll jump through hoops because it never saves your login, etc. So I like having the app. It's making it more accessible, and that's why I was like, ooh, we could do a show now talking about riding on Royal Road. It's a new segment, new year. You know, we have fun. We try to have fun ideas and everything for the show. So yeah.
Well, and that's the great thing about. Oh, sorry, Joel.
I was just gonna say, not to mention, like, there are so many like lit RPG authors that are writing on Royal Road now that I have major FOMO, like a fear of missing out, and I feel like if I don't read on Royal Road, like I'm gonna like miss something that's like really great.
God, I hope you miss something, Joel.
So that's where, with me, that was like I said, the homage to the community that started on Royal Road. You know, they're getting early access to book 1. Book 2 is dropping right now. And I am like 3/4 of the way done writing book 3. And like I said, I put those hard dates out there. So once book 3 is done, the community can read all 3 books, the complete series, for, I think, 2 months before it will be taken down. And then we're going for a rapid release at the end of the year.
Which I fucking rip my wallet because I'm pre-ordering all 3 of them. As soon as you have pre-order dates, TJ, you gotta let us know so that way we can, get that shit going.
Hell yeah.
Because I want them here on release day. I want them in my possession on the day before release or actual release day. So, all right. Well, we went almost an entire episode without a foot comment. So, guys, can we, I'm asking.
Oh, I thought that was an Italian thing of like, yeah, no, of course, we want more.
It's feet. I'm gonna be real for a minute. Like, it's 2024. Can we leave that shit in last year, please? Like,
You did bring it on yourself, Rishi.
I didn't fucking bring it. It was Matt.
You let us know your weakness.
That's true.
Matt.
Never let them see the weakness.
If you respect me, just please stop with the feet jokes. I would appreciate it. Like, thank you.
Okay.
That's me being vulnerable.
A couple things I wanted to hit before we
hold on. Real quick, Joel, before we touch base.
Yeah.
Valor said that honestly, I'm looking for TJ's books here in Australian bookstores now. They sound so good.
Thank you.
Royal Road should be across.
You should be able to get it across the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say it should be cross region and everything. So, Valor, send me a message here on Twitch, and I'll send you the link to Call Sign Bloodbath and see if you can access it that way.
Yeah.
And I know the Dying Breed is on Amazon, and you have access to it in the UK. So there is that.
Well, wouldn't it be AU for Australia?
Yeah, but I mean, Amazon. It's on Amazon across all of their.
All right, Amazon.au, I think, is what it is over there. I don't know regions. I'm just here. I'm dyslexic. So, Joel, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna just make sure that I catch a couple things that I really liked in the book before we started wrapping up. One thing I did want to point out was the whenever he's learning jujitsu, and his teacher is talking about throw a punch, and then he's like, "Okay, now don't do that." They talk about using an open hand to hit them. That way you can grab them and put them where they where you want them. I was like, that was really, really cool. Another thing I wanted to point out was whenever he fucks up with the stun grenade and hits himself with it. I was like, that's super realistic.
Oh shit!
Holy cow! Don't pay $80 for my book? What in the world?
Is that how much it is?
Yeah, on Dymox, that link that was just shared. Oh my god!
Fucking holy shit! Yeah, no, fuck that. What the fuck? $80? I know there's a currency exchange, but what the fuck? In
Australian money.
So, holy cow! I've got 5 ratings in Australia.
Fuck yeah! Is that for the Dying Breed?
Yeah, I guess it's not. I guess it's not showing all of them, but.
Oh. Right. Well, Facebook. So we do have Facebook user. We have multiple Facebook users. So we're gonna look real quick.
Yeah, I put it in the private chat. There's the Amazon.com.au link.
Oh god, I'm afraid to look at this. So.
Oh, I guess paperback in Australia for Amazon is $55.54.
Damn. So dang. TJ, let's look at this comment real quick. TJ, thank you for the awesome books. I won from you at the last con. Got them last month, and I'm so happy with them. That comes from Damian Mann, our mysterious Facebook user. And then other Facebook user, this one right here, that love the creativity for achievements. That is our boy Panda.
Oh, Panda.
We love Panda here. Panda is amazing. Oh, Valos has already paid. So.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, I mean, giving credit where credit's due. And yes, Damien, his books are awesome. They're fucking fantastic. I mean, I have them right here. I got physical copies when I was down at Dragon Con, and TJ handed them to me personally and signed them, and then also gave me a little postcard with a bunch of stickers in it. So, postcard with the R on it. I'm guessing it's for Ridiculous, because
it's for Richie. R for Richie.
I know. Damn it, I can't be funny. So on here, he wrote, Richie, the journey is long. the road is hard. The quest is dangerous. The enemy is powerful. The doubt is convincing. The pain too real. But it's worth the fight. And I fucking agree with that.
Yep.
So, DJ, thank you for those because I fucking look at that on a daily basis.
Hell yeah, man. That's why I wrote it for you.
It's mounted in here on my bookshelf for when I'm recording because I have my iPad here and I have it right up here on my bookshelf, so it fucking helps. So let's talk a little bit about the Dying Breed real quick. So for those who have not read the Dying Breed,
hold on, Joel, did you have anything else on Bloodbath you really liked that you wanted to mention? Or is
it's fantastic. Get it? It's amazing. I can't wait to start book 2.
I was really worried, Joel, because I was like, Joel is going to hate this book and he's going to shred me of like, why the fuck would you write this?
No.
I didn't think you would like it.
I actually convinced him to read it.
It honestly reminds me of Monster Hunter International series. I don't know if you've read that or not, but basically the character has like that type A personality and they just talk about like awesome guns and hunting monsters and stuff. So
I mean, the first chapter in the first book, he throws his boss out a window in the middle of Texas, like from the top. Yeah, his boss is he a werewolf?
Yeah, I think he turns into a werewolf.
He goes back to the office and gets into a fight with him and throws him out a window. It's fucking great.
Awesome.
So it's a good one. It's by Larry. Oh God,
Larry Correa.
Correa, yeah. It's Bane's book, and it's actually a really fun read. Not a lit RPG, but it's a good like fantasy, supernatural book.
Nice.
So, when Joel pitched it to me, I was like, "Oh, fucking Monster Hunter!" I was thinking like the game Monster Hunter. No, it's supernatural.
Supernatural. Yeah.
It's good though. It's damn good.
Well, yeah. So, Joel, I'm so glad that you liked it, man. I really am. I was nervous, but yeah, Enmity Book 2 is out tonight because tonight is Sunday. Tonight, I believe I can tell you really quick here. Chapter 11 will be dropping.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, and chapter 11, we're going into Khartoum, Sudan, and a lot more carnage.
Fuck yes. We need more carnage. Also, there is a prologue for Call Sign Bloodbath up on YouTube, right?
It's a short story. Yep. So on YouTube, if you just go to YouTube and search for Recover the Jackpot, it is a 38-minute free audiobook that was done by Jodan. And it was a short story that I wrote and pitched to a indie magazine, indie comic book magazine. They rejected the story. So after they encouraged me to submit a story, and so I was like, okay, well, fuck, I will just put this up on Royal Road as well. And then we had Jodan do the audiobook for us and put it up there. So it is basically, it follows the character Sweep that you meet in the prologue of book 1. And it is a mission that he goes on. And when they end is right when Trevor wakes up in chapter 1 of book 1.
Okay.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. So if you guys want like a free 38-minute listen for the night, go check it out over on YouTube because fuck yeah. So before we start wrapping up the show, why don't you give the elevator pitch for those who have not read The Dying Breed or have any idea what The Dying Breed is?
Well, The Dying Breed, book 3, Enslavement, is coming out February 14th.
I need it. I'm on vacation that week. I need it.
So The Dying Breed is a soft magic system and is a soft progression system, meaning there's really no way to quantify the level of magic that is around you or near you. And also in the progressionary scale, there's no level tier system. And the reason I did that was kind of very similar to like Star Wars Jedi, where the power can be around you in different ways, and very much like a Dragon Ball Z, where you can kind of go up and down in levels depending on it. So You have 5 different planes of existence: the physical, spirit, soul, magic, and celestial. I believe we as individuals here on Earth have a physical body with a spirit and a soul. Your spirit is what connects your soul to your body, right? So it's kind of that system. Well, what if there was energy with all of those things? And what if you could pull from that? What if you could cultivate that? And then you have the celestials, so the gods, and the way that they connect to the others is through the magical plane of existence.
Yeah.
Right? So within these 5 planes, if you go to a temple where people were sacrificed, there's a lot more soul or spirit or physical energy within that area that you could pull from. So your attacks could be far more powerful given the essence that's around that area. Right?
Gotcha.
That was my approach to the magical system. The progressionary system is this young kid named Liam who wanted to become a warrior. And with his family all passing away very soon around each other, he sought out the only thing that brought him comfort, and that was the stories of old of this legendary warrior known as Kodgarak. So once he finds Kodgarak, he goes on the hero's journey, and he starts to learn all of the hardships of the world. And you start to quickly see that the God King Emmanuel, our main antagonist, isn't really the only antagonist within this vast world. I feel bad because there is no map in any of the books. But the reason for that is the map is so big, I cannot even physically put it in the books. Like,
damn,
you can download it off of the website, and then I basically tell people download it and then magnify it by 300%, and then you'll see where we're at. So this book series is there to push you and challenge you. At the end of each book, we talk about the inspiration behind the story and where we're going on this progressionary journey. Paul, there are posters you can buy off of our website, so you can actually buy the full poster. It's like a 3x4 size, like legit.
So it's almost like a banner.
Yeah, like it's a full poster.
Fuck.
Now you just make me want to get like a map mural, like on.
I'm getting a bunch of shit. So I gotta get it.
How can I put this in a book, you guys? It's literally I can't.
We got Scotty Schilling in the chat. Scotty's my buddy over at D's Vintage Toys and Collectibles. Scotty, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, my dude? So it's one of those things where
fold it.
You just have a centerfold that's like,
hey, Amazon, I really need you. So in book 1, Hunters, you're introduced to the main character, but you're introduced to these incredible side characters that were individually chosen to teach our main character something along this very vast journey.
Right.
So you learn the Hunters. In book 2, it's injustice, and you are literally put face to face with true injustice in the world, very similar to what Bloodbath was about. And it's going to be hard for some readers. There is content guidance warnings. There are mature readings. It's going to probably make you feel very uncomfortable at some point.
So we talked about this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone, it does take a lot to make me uncomfortable. There are a couple scenes in this book, and it pushed my boundaries a little bit.
What, it takes a lot to make you uncomfortable?
Well, in a social or in a non-social way, Joel. You know, if you put me in a room with people I don't fucking know, then
you won't even let me say the F word.
You fucking say fuck all the time. What the fuck are you talking about?
Not that F word.
Oh, Francis, got it. So on the back of the first book, it does say mature for mature audience for profanity, violence, magic, and torture.
Wait, on the back of the second book?
First book.
Okay. As I say, second book.
Second book is profanity, violence, magic, torture, child abuse, rape, and sex. And book 2 does push it a little bit, and that's more the one of the specific I was talking about, but there have been books that have we talked about this yesterday, where I said when I do a read or re-listen to certain series and I get to certain parts, specifically in one series, there's 2 books that have parts in it where I'm like, I don't know if I can re-listen to this. One, because it is a torture scene. The other one, because it is a rape and torture scene. It's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
the way the author handles it, it's like when they want you to hate someone, you fucking hate them.
Yeah.
So.
And so that's where, there was a very realistic reason for everything I put in the books has a reason, right?
Right.
It's not there to be grotesque, but I think, did you and I talk about the reason, Richie, yesterday?
No. We
at the back of the book,
our 5-minute phone call turned into an hour.
Yeah. So at the back of the book, authors note there is a very real incident where I was. Yep.
Okay.
I'm standing in a police department because I used to work at one, and I'm leaning against the doorway to this detective's office, and I'm talking to him about some information regarding child pornography and how there's national databases of where it's kind of stored. And the reason it's stored there is for the metadata. So when they upload that, or when people are starting to transfer these images, they can match up the metadata and just say, we know this is child pornography. It's already registered.
Yeah.
So we're having this conversation and I'm trying to share this, and he stops me. And he's like, TJ, who do you think has to look at those images before it gets uploaded?
Oh, fuck.
I was not looking at the eyes of a police detective. I was looking at the eyes of a father who had to go home to his daughter and his son, and he had to try to block out everything that he was dealing with as a police officer.
That has to be one of the hardest jobs.
This was going on during the George Floyd riots.
Oh,
when everyone said we want to defund police, we don't need police.
Jeez.
I, in my current position, have to go through classes and see the images of abused children from the hospitals and from the mental health things. And so for me, book 2, I wanted people to be somewhat uncomfortable, because then you have this main character who wants to seek justice and vengeance about what is going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, you need people to fight the evil that's in this world. So yes, I want you to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but
right.
They're like when I normally sign the books, I sign them. It gets really dark, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So if you stay with the book, you will hopefully get to the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's where book 2, I definitely pushed some boundaries. In book 3, which comes out, this was one of my favorite books to write, because this is where you actually get to introduce to orcs and some elves and some dwarves and also some centaurs.
Fucking love dwarves. Anyways, continue.
I wanted my world to not necessarily focus on these races as the main races, but they were there.
Right.
And so that's where we go back 1,000 years in the timeline for people to see how Set and Marduk and Klipkoshek and all of these demons have been weaving different things for thousands of years, preparing for what else has been happening. So you have a battle scene that is, I would say, is better than Helm's Deep to a certain point, because the siege actually goes on for days. It's not just a one-night stand. I try to drag it out as long as possible, and it just gets more and more and more while you follow Drebin the Dreadful. And by the time you're done with that battle scene, you will want more of Drebin. You will not want to come back to the main timeline.
Gotcha.
And
you also have a short story coming out as well, right?
Yep.
You showed us the cover last week on your weekend update.
Yeah. So The Dying Breed Thievery is a short story. It's 75 pages. It is in the back of the paperback, and it is also in the ebook. So if you just get this ebook, you'll get it. Or if you want to just kind of check it out, it'll be its own individual paperback and ebook as well.
Right.
But that is influenced by a real story, a real jewel thief who went international for many years, stole crown jewels out of like, I don't know, some Persian queen's thing. And so I was like, okay, yeah. So it's really fun. It follows Golgoth, who's one of our favorite characters.
Okay.
And yeah, so
I'm excited for that one. I'll have to order my copy of The Dying Breed Book 3 so I can have it while I'm on vacation, because I'm almost done with Book 2. And I need my next read because I'm caught up on my beta reads and everything, which
nice.
Brings us to our next segment so we can start wrapping up, because I just learned my girlfriend's mom is actually going to be here tonight at midnight. So we got to get the house in shape. Yeah. So, hey, Joel.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we went live.
Yeah. I got a lot.
Give us a small list.
You're funny.
Pick some of the best ones you read.
You want me to give you a small list?
All right, give us a fucking list.
So, I
What
read
you've been
through
reading?
Mother of Learning.
Okay.
It's a 4-book series.
Good series.
I think it was rated like top on Royal Road or something somewhere. Apocalypse Regression. The
Charles Dean and Ramon.
Ramon, yeah. That was honestly, I really liked that series. It was really good.
Daniel Wisniewski. Elizabeth Plant. They fucking killed the narration.
Primal Hunter Book 8 came out. Voidborn. It's Aethon book.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked that one. Also Rune Seekers, I've just started and it is really, really good. It has like horror aspects to it that we don't really see in a lot of other lit RPGs. Like the main baddie is like
baddie.
Invisible, or not really invisible, but has like cloaking and stuff like that. So he's like not really seen in the story, and it kind of takes that like hidden monster, like sort of like in Jaws or something, where they do that. The Dakota Kraut series,
Cooking with Disaster. Book 2 comes out next week.
That was really, really good. Reborn Apocalypse Book 4 came out on Kindle. If you haven't read that series, it's fantastic. It's sort of like multiple realms, like 10 realms, where he like travels back in time.
Yes, Grilled Armageddon.
And yeah, but what makes this one stand out is that the action scenes are like so much like extra, where it's just like super anime the way he describes it. He'll have like a 5 minute fight, and then he'll end it with like, and they died instantly. And the narration for that series is just fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. What else?
I think that's
Other than that, like, yeah, Call Sign Bloodbath.
Yeah, that fucking book.
That book.
TJ, what about you? What have you been reading recently that you want to give a shout out to?
So I will give some shout outs of authors that I think people should check out. I put the links in the private chat.
I saw those.
So yeah, because for some reason it doesn't want me to put the comments. Like I can't.
For some reason it doesn't let me comment to Legion through StreamYard. I have to go through my actual phone to do that.
Okay. So the first one I put up was Effervescence. I don't even know if I can say
it's by Stabby Joe.
By Stabby Joe.
Yeah.
Effervescence.
Yeah.
I would definitely say give that one some love. You know, she could definitely use some encouragement. So check it out. I've read her first series, which I forget what it's called. I have the book packed away, but such beautiful writing, like really, really great writing.
Okay.
And then Wild Ones by Nick Boslow. Dude, I
I started that one yesterday.
I feel like that dude needs some more love because that dude has just been crushing it on the writing side. I feel like his book could really get some good traction. So those are two that I would love to shout out. As far as reading, I just finished Rise of Oshbob with by Kevin Sinclair. Really enjoyed it. I on the 12th is when my next Audible credit drops, so I'll be doing Lars's Hacker series off of City of Artem.
Underdog, yep.
Thank you. So that'll be my next read. I'm also going through Quest Academy Scavengers. I'm about halfway through it, and I will also be picking up. I got Compton's Guide to Suicide.
Oh.
Which is a book written by a retired law enforcement officer, and it sounds so dark. And like it literally opens up with like, hey dude, if you're gonna go, off yourself, don't do it on my lunch break. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, holy shit. So I'm really excited to jump into that book and to see get some more inspiration for book 3 of Bloodbath.
All right. Fuck yeah. All right. I guess for my list, I'll start off with the Dying Breeds audiobook because I was gracious enough to receive a code for that, and it's very good. It's a damn good one, and I mean the book itself is it's really good.
Book 2 is close to being wrapped up too.
And then of course she joins as the episode is coming to an end, but we have Geneva, the Breaker of Souls, in the chat.
If TJ says something dark, it's got to be dark.
It's fucking accurate. That's fucking accurate.
We should have just had Geneva here to be me because I never looked so good.
I tried. She said they said no. They had other obligations, like I think kids or something. I don't fucking know. It was a lame excuse.
Wow, you just want to get on her bad side right off the get-go.
Oh no, I love Geneva and she knows it. I'll be drinking orange juice later because I know she's probably gonna send me something that I'm just gonna fucking hate. So I listened to the Dying Breeds audiobook. Atlantean Briny Deep, which is the 5th book in the High Table Hijinks. I got to read that and it was fucking fantastic.
You are getting all the horrible memes now.
Yeah, I figured as much. Love you, Geneva. Thank you so much. I'll make sure that oh god, I'm sending extra emoji. Orange juice with extra pulp. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I send the quality. Give me some Simply or something. I want to make it good at least. I'm finally caught up on the Alchemy Online. I finished book 6, Crowned in Black, which was fantastic. I'm currently going through He Who Fights with Monsters because I decided to give it another try. I'm on book 4 and it finally just clicked, I guess. It's pretty good. Let's see what else. Grilled Armageddon, book 1 in the Cooking with Disaster. I was doing a re-listen of Brightblade, the 2nd editions, because I only had the 1st edition of Brightblade, but I had gone through on Kindle. So I picked up books 2, 3, and 4. Nice. Apocalypse Regression. I am all caught up on the Artem books. And until what is it? Tailspin comes out on the 13th, which I'm on vacation that week, so I'll be powering through that because it's Stephanie Nemeth Parker and Neil Thorne, which I'm really excited. And then I got to beta listen and do it. I received an ARC copy of Harmon Cooper's newest cozy fantasy, A Pub in the Underworld. It's fantastic. That comes out on the 6th, which I think is Tuesday. Fucking pick it up. I'm a Harmon stan. I'll be honest there. This is not paid promotion. That dude can fucking write. Anything he puts out, I enjoy. So I'm excited for that one to come out. And then there was one other. I'm going through my list. Everything's kind of all out of whack at the moment. What did I just... Oh, Elf Empire by John Stovall. I finally got to finish that, and it was damn good. I'm excited to continue that series.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, I put my 2024 list out already. in 2025, I want to get JD Glasscock. I want to get Don Chapman, John Stovall. Like, I think 2025 will be a lot more dungeon books because John Stovall, Jeff Logue, is it?
Oh, Jeffrey Falcon Logue.
Jeffrey Falcon
I can never pronounce his last name, but Jeffrey. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know those 4 authors at least I need to get on my reading list.
Scotty, I gave a copy or my copy of the Gordian Protocol by Jacob Hollow and David Weber because that book's fucking-tastic. Let's see. Just going through the comments real quick. Yep, I know, Geneva. I know. You told me I'd love it. It finally clicked. Paul,
about time. Thank you, Geneva.
I've been trying to get Ricky to
read that series for a while.
Oh yeah, if you want a really good book that Jeffrey helped co-write, Station Company Corps by Stephen Landry and Jeff, it's pretty fucking good.
I already read Stephen. Come on. Star Divers was a great book.
Too. No, Station Company Corps. They have a co.
I know they have a co, but I'm saying I already got Stephen on my shelf with Star Divers, which I loved.
So. The audiobook for it's gonna fucking slap. I'll be honest there.
Who's doing that? Some
some
name guy.
I think he was doing an AI voice.
Yeah, probably. But that's kind of my list. Obviously, I have some books that are coming out soon that I'm really excited about to read. Oh, Joel, we didn't get to talk about Timothy McGowan's Path of the Titans that we got art copies of.
That looks so good too.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic. Anything Tim puts out, cover. I've enjoyed almost everything he's put out. So fucking shout out to that one. Go pick up Path of the Titans because that was a damn good book.
Yep.
I think that's everything on the list.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. Oh, I started the Dragonheart series.
Why not?
Why wouldn't you? Krill, I'm not even going to pretend to know how to pronounce that last name. It's one of the Russian authors. It's pretty good. I picked up the first 3 through Audible, and it was they're long listens, but they're fun. I really enjoy it. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. So nice. Yeah, hey, Stats on Stats is back, and we're hoping to have a pretty banger year this year for our episodes and everything. We've got a few guests already lined up. I'm working on scheduling right now, so I apologize if episodes are a little spaced out. But join us 2 weeks from today on the 18th, where Jonathan Smith will be joining us to talk about his experience writing on Royal Road, because he's published a few things on Royal Road. And yeah, that's gonna be a fun episode,
dude. Because we love Jonathan. Good to be back.
It feels fucking good to be back. Joel and I will be doing some streams probably too. We are probably going to be changing the channel name. We're still trying to figure out which name we want to go with, but I think we're getting down to the final decisions of which ones we're going to choose. But we're going to still keep Stats on Stats in the name itself, so that way we can get everything. The reason we're changing the name is it's going to make it easier to upload a podcast. We've tried to get stuff switched over, but since Stats on Stats is still linked to the previous channel we were a part of, it won't let me upload it all. So we're just deciding, hey, change the name, upload all the previous episodes, and get everything up. So
nice.
Yeah, but it's so good to be back. And TJ, thank you so fucking much for being on this episode.
Oh yeah,
thank you for helping us kick off the year with some fantastic content and talking about a fantastic book.
Thank you, dude. I was very humbled, very honored that you guys even asked me, especially to be like episode 1 and to have this new kind of series of this. Like, this has been such an awesome time, and Bloodbath has been such a fun book to write. So it means a lot to me that you even asked.
Hey, you put out some good shit. Good. We're gonna give you praise. That's what Stats on Stats is here for. We want to give praise to authors where the credit's due. So thanks. We got some. Craig, thank you so much for tuning in. And Geneva, we love you. Thank you so much for letting us host here in Legion, as well as on our Twitch platform. We we upgraded our StreamYard so we can stream to more places at once instead of going through multiple different programs. So hell yeah. But everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Richie Stevens. That's Joel Harvey. And of course, TJ Lombardi. We hope you all have a wonderful night. And Stats on Stats is back, baby.
Bye.